Hey guys, it's Friendly Neighborhood Doc here, and I wanted to do a short video talking about initial assessment on Let This One Be a Devil. This is a true weird story written by James Tynion with Steve Foxe, art by Peter Kowalski, and colors by Brad Simpson. So we start this story in 1909, and the deal behind these stories is it supposedly has some truth to it. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but there has been the story of the Jersey Devil since the 1700s. And this story kind of tries to mix truth with fiction so that you can go and better understand the legend of the Jersey Devil. So to start with, we start in January of 1909, and we have this character who comes up on what appears to be the Jersey Devil. Now, what I like about this artwork is it's got a P. Craig Russell type of feel to it. If you go back and look at the line work, a lot of it reminds you of P. Craig Russell. So that is really cool because that's one of my favorite artists. He just doesn't do a whole lot much anymore. But you've got Henry, and Henry went and fired the rifle at the creature who had killed a bunch of their livestock. So he goes into town with his younger brother and gets ridiculed for, I thought you were big bad, and, I thought you made something of yourself, and here you are back with your family. So then we move into 1735, and we have Mr. and Mrs. Leeds, and Mrs. Leeds is pregnant with their 12th child, and she says, he doesn't want to come out to this world. And so she screams, as women were wont to do during childbirth, and this time she cursed the child and says, "Let this one be a devil." And then the child is born, but it's not natural. So again, you get these horrified looks on people's faces, and I'm not going to spoil the last page, but supposedly this woman, since she cursed this child, gave birth to the Jersey Devil. I thought it was okay. It doesn't really feel like a James Tynion book. I heard another reviewer talk about it and said it felt more like a Steve Foxe book with James Tynion kind of overseeing, kind of like that Green Lantern Corps book that I talked about last week. It felt more like a Morgan Hampton book with Jeremy Adams just kind of doing the broad brushstrokes to make sure that the story fell in line with his Green Lantern run. But this book was interesting. I will hang out for a second issue just to see, because Dark Horse usually gives you good quality product. But as far as initial assessment goes, I would only say that if you have a really strong penchant for podcasts, criminal podcasts like my wife's listening to here, momentarily in another room, or if you like the story of the Jersey Devil, or you like, I've started listening to some audio stuff on YouTube from time to time talking about true horror stories and parenting horror stories and being alone horror stories and things like that. And they're okay. They're a little bit filler. And this is kind of how this feels. It just kind of feels like it's a little bit filler and it's not anything of substance. So if you like that kind of stuff, then definitely check this one out. But other than that, I'm going to have to just give it a solid B-, and we will see what happens in the next issue. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Sorry the camera's a little bit shaky this morning, but I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.